The Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. Have you ever felt like you were meant for more? There's this quiet feeling that sometimes bubbles up late at night or in the middle of some random Tuesday afternoon. A sense that deep down, you've got the heart of a lion, but somehow you're living the life of a timid mouse. You can feel that strength inside you. You know you're capable of real courage, of genuine greatness. But instead, you catch yourself scurrying away from conflict, chasing every shiny distraction, and settling for table scraps when you know there's an entire feast waiting for you out there. It's such a strange and frustrating feeling, isn't it? Knowing you were born to roam free, yet feeling trapped by what others expect of you, boxed in by invisible cages built from fear and the pressure to just fit in. If any of that sounds even remotely familiar, then you're exactly where you need to be. Because today, we're diving into a book that's honestly less of a book and more of a rallying cry for your spirit. It's called The Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard, and it's sparked a quiet revolution in millions of lives across the globe. This isn't your run-of-the-mill self-help book. You won't find quick-fix life hacks or trendy catchphrases here. Instead, it reads like one of those historic documents written during pivotal moments in history, like the founding papers of a new nation. But here's the thing. The nation it's trying to establish is you, a new, more powerful, freer version of yourself. Brendon Burchard's own story sits at the heart of all this. When he was just 19 years old, he survived a devastating car accident. Lying there, broken and bleeding, he asked himself 3 questions that would completely transform his life. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? That moment handed him what he calls life's golden ticket, a genuine second chance. He dedicated the rest of his life to figuring out what actually makes us feel alive. The Motivation Manifesto is where all that searching led him. So what's my promise to you for the next little while? By the time we're done here, you'll understand the one powerful force that drives all of human history and your own personal journey. You'll discover the 2 internal saboteurs that are quietly undermining your dreams, and you'll walk away armed with 9 declarations you need to defeat them and take back your personal power. This isn't about feeling pumped up for a day or two. This is about unlocking a level of freedom and vitality that most people think is just fantasy. So let's dive in. Let's talk about how to stop living like that scared little mouse and finally unleash the lion that's been waiting inside you all along. At the absolute core of this manifesto sits one powerful idea that shifts how you see everything. It's the concept of personal freedom. Now, when most of us hear the word freedom, our minds jump to politics or nations declaring independence. But Burchard is talking about something much deeper, something more intimate and personal. Personal freedom is that deep, universal human drive to be our authentic selves and chase our dreams without anyone or anything holding us back. It's the ability to think for ourselves, choose our own path, love who we want to love, and express what's truly in our hearts, without fear of judgment or rejection. Think about it for a second. Everything you want in life, whether it's landing a better job, getting healthier, building a more loving relationship, or carving out more time to create, what you're really asking for is the freedom to have it. The main motivation of humankind, Burchard argues, is this relentless, unstoppable quest to be free. But if this drive is so powerful, so fundamental to who we are as humans, why do so many of us feel trapped? Why do we feel stuck in lives that honestly don't feel like they're even ours? The book explains that 2 forces are caging us in. The first is social oppression. This is pressure coming from the outside world. It's the parent who tells you your dream is completely unrealistic. It's the boss who makes you feel small and insignificant. It's the culture constantly telling you to fit in, stay quiet, follow the rules, and want exactly what everyone else wants. It's the tyranny of living up to their expectations. In our desperate need to be accepted and belong, we start compromising tiny pieces of ourselves. We put on masks, we play roles that aren't us, and eventually, we can't even remember who we were before we started pretending. We trade our authenticity for approval, and honestly, it's a terrible bargain. But as powerful as social oppression is, it's not actually the most dangerous enemy. The most dangerous enemy is the one living inside our own heads. Burchard calls this self-oppression. This is when our own mind literally turns against us. It's that voice of doubt whispering, "You're not good enough." It's the procrastination habit that keeps us from even starting. It's the fear of failure that completely paralyzes us. We become, more often than we'd like to admit, the architects of our own prisons. We let our own negative thoughts and destructive habits hold us back. This internal battle, Burchard insists, is where the real war for our freedom is either won or lost. And this war has a name. It's a constant battle between two opposing forces, aversion versus ascension. Aversion is living a life motivated entirely by fear. Its only goal is avoiding pain, dodging struggle, staying safe and comfortable. It's that voice telling you to play it small, don't take risks, and just stay in the cage, where everything is predictable and nothing can hurt you. Ascension, on the flip side, is living a life motivated by freedom. It's that deep drive to rise above your circumstances, to grow, to express your true self, and to chase your full potential. It understands that struggle isn't something to run from, but actually a necessary ingredient for real growth. Every single day, in every single choice we make, we're deciding which path to take. Are we living a life of aversion or a life of ascension? As Burchard puts it so perfectly, in any given moment, fear wins or freedom wins. This is the central conflict running through our entire lives. And the rest of the manifesto hands us the tools, those 9 declarations, to make sure that freedom wins. Let's start with the foundation of it all. If you genuinely want to change your life, you have to start by changing how you experience this very moment. This brings us to the first powerful idea, which is rooted in Declaration 1, we shall meet life with full presence and power. So many of us are basically ghosts floating through our own lives. Our bodies are physically here, but our minds are completely lost somewhere in the past, replaying that embarrassing mistake or reliving some former glory. Or they're spinning anxiously into the future, worrying about what might happen tomorrow. We are, as Burchard so beautifully puts it, living in distant time zones, hours behind or ahead of the bliss of right now. And what does that cost us? Everything. We miss the genuine smile on a loved one's face. We miss the quiet beauty of a sunset. We miss the golden opportunity sitting right in front of us. The book argues that the true enemy of life isn't some distant death waiting down the road, but our present detachment from actually living. To be fully present means bringing the entire force of your consciousness into this moment. It's learning to truly feel again. It's about genuinely seeing, hearing, and sensing what's happening around you. But it goes beyond just paying attention. It's also about consciously deciding who you want to be in this moment. Burchard introduces this fascinating idea of playing different roles. In any given situation, you can consciously choose your role. Are you being an observer, calmly watching your own thoughts and emotions without harsh judgment? Are you being a director, intentionally shaping the scene of your life? Are you a guardian, actively protecting your mind from negativity and your body from harm? Are you a warrior, fighting for your dreams with laser focus and discipline? Or maybe you're a lover, connecting with others from a place of genuine empathy and kindness. By consciously choosing our role, we completely shift from being a passive victim of whatever happens to being the active creator of our own experience. We stop sleepwalking through life and finally start living. This conscious presence is the wellspring of all personal power. But presence alone won't cut it. You can be completely present, but if you're spending your precious time on things that don't actually matter to you, you'll still feel trapped. This leads us to the next critical step. Declaration 2. We shall reclaim our agenda. Your life is literally made up of days, one after another. And how you spend your days is ultimately how you spend your entire life. The great tragedy for so many people is that their days aren't even their own. Their agenda gets completely dictated by the endless avalanche of emails, pinging notifications, and other people's urgent priorities. They're constantly busy, but they're not actually productive. Their busy work, as Burchard calls it, definitely isn't their life's work. They say yes to absolutely everything, desperately trying to please everyone around them, and in the process, they're saying no to their own dreams and passions. Their calendar becomes just a depressing log of obligations, not an exciting map of their aspirations. Reclaiming your agenda means you absolutely must get crystal clear on what is truly meaningful to you. It requires you to actually sit down and define what you're really after in life. What do you genuinely want to create? What kind of person do you want to become? What's your real mission here? Burchard really pushes us to write these things down, to create our own personal manifesto. This written document becomes your compass, pointing true north. Without it, you're completely lost at sea, just getting tossed around by whatever winds of other people's demands blow your way. With it, you finally have a clear direction. Once you've got this clarity, the next step is honestly a difficult one for many people. You must learn the surprising power of that simple word, no. You have to say no to distractions. You have to say no to opportunities that don't actually align with your mission, even good opportunities. You have to say no to the random requests of others that completely derail your carefully planned day. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or uncaring. Actually, by saying no to the things that don't truly matter, you create the space to say a passionate and focused yes to the people and projects that genuinely do. You can absolutely be a great parent, a loving spouse, a dedicated leader, and still fiercely protect the time you need to advance your own agenda. You simply can't give generously to others from an empty well. Protecting your agenda is exactly how you keep your well full and overflowing. So we've learned to be truly present, and we've learned to take control of our days. But what about that nagging inner voice? That voice of fear, of doubt, of deep insecurity? That's where the real battle begins. Declaration 3. We shall defeat our demons. Burchard paints this incredibly vivid picture here. He asks us to imagine our inner demons as this terrifying three-headed serpent living inside us, a creature he names Defiance. This beast wakes up and viciously attacks whenever we try to step outside our cozy comfort zone, whenever we take a real risk, whenever we genuinely try to be great. Each of its three ugly heads has a specific poison it uses against us. The first head is doubt. This is that whiny, deeply insecure voice, constantly questioning your worth. It sounds exactly like this. What if it doesn't work out? What if I'm really not good enough? What if they don't like me? What if I embarrass myself? Doubt completely paralyzes you with, what if? Questions that are always negative. How do you actually fight doubt? The book tells us the antidote is faith. Not some blind, naive faith, but a deep, rock-solid belief in your ability to learn and figure things out as you go. It's that humble confidence that says, I might not know how to do this right now, but I genuinely believe I can learn. With enough time and consistent effort, I can become the person I need to be to achieve this. You build this faith by actively remembering your past successes, by celebrating your real strengths, and by consciously choosing to believe in your untapped potential. If you fail to defeat doubt, the second head of the serpent suddenly awakens. This one is called delay. If doubt whispers, delay absolutely roars. It's the voice of pure terror screaming, "Stop right now. Don't do it. You're definitely not ready. The timing isn't right. You'll get hurt badly." Delay justifies your inaction so smoothly. It makes you wait endlessly for that perfect moment that, spoiler alert, never actually comes. Delay, Burchard warns us, has destroyed far more dreams than doubt ever could. The antidote to delay is beautifully simple and direct: decisive action. You absolutely must act before you feel ready. You must take that crucial first step, even if it's tiny and imperfect. Action is the true yardstick of character. It's not what you intend to do someday that defines you. It's what you actually do today. Taking action, especially when you're genuinely scared, generates its own powerful momentum and builds a courage you honestly never knew you had inside you. But there's a third head, and this one is honestly the most sinister of all. It's called division. This is the demon that separates you from other people. It's the voice of your ego telling you that you're somehow better than others, or maybe worse than others, or just fundamentally different and separate. It breeds harsh judgment, constant criticism, painful impatience, and cold intolerance. It makes you feel isolated and completely alone in the world. Division slowly poisons your relationships and closes your heart. The only anti-venom powerful enough to defeat division is love. Not just romantic, butterfly-in-your-stomach love, but a deep, unconditional sense of connection and empathy for all people. It's recognizing that we're all beautifully, messily human, all fighting our own private battles, all part of the same wild journey. Love, Burchard explains, is a divine energy flowing through absolutely everything. It's not something you possess or own. It's something you allow to flow freely through you. When you choose to see the good in others, to genuinely connect, to truly forgive, and to serve, you completely destroy the poison of division. So faith, action, and love, these are your weapons to defeat the vicious demons of doubt, delay, and division. This is exactly how you win the critical inner war. And once you start consistently winning that war, you build an entirely new kind of momentum. You're finally ready to move through the world in a completely different way. This brings us to Declaration 4, we shall advance with abandon. Most people carefully inch through life. They set safe, realistic goals. Because that's what they've been told to do. They patiently wait for permission. They wait for perfect conditions to magically appear. They wait for some guarantee that they definitely won't fail or look foolish. But the truly great people, the innovators, the real leaders, the ones who genuinely change the world, they don't advance cautiously on tiptoes. They advance with complete abandon. They deeply understand that to achieve anything truly remarkable, a healthy touch of recklessness is absolutely required. Advancing with abandon means you genuinely believe that reality is bendable and shapeable. Your current circumstances aren't fixed and permanent. You can actively shape your world through your determined will, your focused attention, and your bold initiative. It means you finally stop waiting around for permission from others. The world only readily gives you permission to be average and blend in. You have to give yourself permission to be extraordinary. It also means you see struggle as a positive and absolutely necessary force in your growth. You don't waste energy complaining about hardship. You honor it and learn from it. You know that it's only in those depths of real struggle that you discover your true strength and forge your unbreakable character. This entire mindset is fueled by a belief in abundance. The world isn't some place of scarcity where someone has to lose for you to win. It's actually a place overflowing with infinite opportunity. The resources you need will mysteriously appear once you genuinely start moving. Your action naturally attracts the support, the knowledge, and yes, even the luck you need to succeed. To advance with abandon is to leap boldly. It is to begin before you have all the answers neatly lined up. It's moving with a real sense of urgency and genuine passion, knowing deep down that life is short and your dreams are absolutely worth the risk. Of course, this demanding journey of bold action and constant struggle can honestly be exhausting. If you're not careful, it can completely drain you. You can become so intensely focused on achieving that you forget to actually enjoy the process. That's exactly why the next declaration is so incredibly vital. Declaration 5, we shall practice joy and gratitude. What's honestly the point of achieving all your dreams if you're completely miserable along the way? Burchard observes that the emotional energy of our entire world is seriously flatlining. People are cynical, deeply pessimistic, and emotionally drained. They've somehow forgotten how to feel genuinely alive. The book makes it crystal clear that joy and gratitude aren't happy accidents. They're conscious choices. They're daily practices. They're actual skills you can intentionally develop. Just as a power plant doesn't passively have energy, but actively generates energy, you don't just stumble upon happiness, you deliberately create it. How exactly? By consciously directing your focus and attention, you can actually train your mind to actively look for the good around you. You can choose to be curious like a wide-eyed child, to release your rigid expectations, and to take genuine pleasure in small, simple things. You can make it a fun game to meet even difficult situations with a smile and a positive attitude. And then there's gratitude, which deserves its own moment. Gratitude is honestly the golden key that unlocks the fullness of life. It magically turns what we have into enough and more. It transforms denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It can turn an ordinary meal into a feast, a simple house into a warm home, a stranger into a friend. Burchard suggests a simple but surprisingly powerful practice. Several times throughout your day, ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much joy and gratitude am I bringing to this exact moment? The specific wording here is crucial. It's not about what you're getting from the moment, but what you're actively giving to it. This simple question forces you to take complete responsibility for your own emotional state. By genuinely practicing joy and gratitude, you continuously refuel your spirit. You transform the potentially arduous journey of advancement into an absolutely thrilling adventure. But as you keep moving forward, as you gain real success and growing influence, new challenges will inevitably arise. You'll face temptations to cut corners, to compromise your deepest values, to become someone you're really not. This is where the anchor of your character becomes absolutely everything. Declaration 6. We shall not break integrity. Integrity is the state of being whole and completely undivided. It's when your actions are in perfect alignment with your core values. It's when you're exactly the same person in public as you are in private. It's when you consistently keep your word, especially to yourself. Most breaks in integrity aren't huge, dramatic betrayals. They're small, seemingly insignificant compromises, the little white lie told to avoid conflict, the promise you casually break because you're too busy, the workout you skip just this once. Each of these small breaks is like a tiny crack forming in your foundation. Over time, those seemingly harmless cracks can cause the entire structure of your character to dramatically crumble. To build truly unbreakable character, you must first get completely clear about who you want to be. The book strongly advises you to sit down and actually write down the specific words that describe your ideal self. Are you kind, courageous, honest, loving, patient? These carefully chosen words become your personal code. Your daily mission is to live in perfect alignment with them every single day. You must treat others with genuine respect. You must tell the truth, even when it's genuinely difficult or uncomfortable. You must honor your commitments, big and small. You must consistently favor action over apathy and excuses. The book warns of the 7 temptations that are most likely to make us break our precious integrity: impatience, disappointment, desperation, aggression, hurt, loyalty, when it causes us to lie for others, and the seduction of power. By anticipating these specific situations ahead of time, we can actually prepare for them mentally. We can decide in advance exactly how our highest self will respond, so that when the critical moment comes, we're ready. Personal freedom is genuinely impossible without integrity, because if you're not being true to yourself, then who exactly are you being true to? You're simply a slave to the random whims of the moment. And that's absolutely no freedom at all. As we become stronger in our character, more aligned with our deepest values, we also become more capable of expressing the single most powerful force in the universe. Declaration 7, we shall amplify love. Love, in this manifesto, isn't just a fleeting feeling or emotion. It is the animating energy of life itself. It is the divine force that connects absolutely all things, and most of us, Burchard says bluntly, are filtering it instead of freely feeling it. We were all born with completely open hearts. But then life happened. We got hurt. We were rejected, harshly judged, or painfully betrayed. And so we started carefully building thick walls around our hearts to protect them from more pain. We fell for the dangerous myth that love is a scarce resource that can be lost or stolen from us. We started to measure it out cautiously, giving it only when we felt it was completely safe. But this, the book argues passionately, is a profound misunderstanding of love's true nature. Hurt has absolutely nothing to do with love itself. It was our fragile ego that got hurt, not love. Love is a divine, infinite energy. It was never actually absent from our lives. We simply allowed our awareness of it to gradually diminish. It is ever present, endlessly abundant, and freely available at all times. To amplify love is to courageously tear down those protective walls. It is to give freely of your heart without fear of hurt or demand of reciprocity. It is to see the divinity present in every single person, even those you strongly disagree with. It is to finally forgive the past and to stop letting old wounds dictate how you connect with people today. This is honestly the ultimate act of human courage. To stand emotionally open before the entire world. When you genuinely do this, you become a powerful force for good. Your empathy, your kindness, your compassion, they become tools that can heal, inspire, and genuinely unite people. And when you live an authentic life of love, you naturally begin to inspire others to live better lives too. You become a real leader, whether you have an official title or not. This leads us to Declaration 8, we shall inspire greatness. The world, Burchard writes candidly, is suffering from a worldwide failure in real leadership. Not just in politics, but in our communities, in our businesses, and in our own homes. Mediocrity and narcissism have steadily replaced the timeless virtues of excellence, selflessness, and contribution. Too often, we simply don't expect ourselves or others to act with genuine integrity anymore. To inspire greatness is to hold a higher standard, first for yourself and then for others around you. It begins right at home. Are you genuinely being the best parent, spouse, and child you can possibly be? Are you leading yourself with real discipline and solid character? You honestly cannot lift the world if you haven't first put your own house in order. Then, you must lovingly challenge others. This isn't about being harshly judgmental or constantly critical. It's about seeing the real potential in people and calling it forth. It's about respectfully asking more of them. It's about reminding them of their strength when they feel weak and defeated, and holding them gently accountable when they shirk their responsibilities. It's about patiently teaching them to be more courageous, more respectful, and more responsible. To inspire greatness is to genuinely serve others. It's shifting your focus from, what can I get, to, what can I give? It is in service to a cause larger than yourself that you find your deepest fulfillment and leave your most enduring legacy. This whole incredible journey of presence, purpose, courage, joy, integrity, love, and leadership is an amazing adventure. But it's surprisingly easy to get so caught up in the constant striving that we rush through it all. We can become so fixated on reaching the destination that we miss the quiet beauty of the path itself, and so we come to the final beautiful declaration. Declaration 9, we shall slow time. Life is definitely not supposed to be a frantic blur. It is meant to be a vibrant, deeply felt mosaic of meaningful moments. But hurry has become our harsh master. We barrel through our days, stressed and completely frazzled, and the cost is genuinely immense, an unexperienced, joyless life. How many of us can only vaguely remember the last time we laughed so hard it hurt, or felt a moment of pure, completely uninterrupted peace? To slow time isn't about doing less or being lazy. It's about experiencing more deeply. It's about becoming much more aware of your 5 senses. It's about deepening your breath. When you breathe deeply and consciously, you oxygenate your brain and become significantly more alert. You connect your physical body to the present moment. The book offers this simple practice. Hold the moment for just 2 extra beats. When you look at a beautiful piece of art, don't just glance. Gaze intently for 2 beats longer. When you hug someone you genuinely love, don't rush through it. Hold them warmly for 2 beats longer. When you savor a delicious meal, don't just gulp it down mindlessly. Let the taste linger on your tongue for 2 beats longer. Life is actually lived in these extra beats. It is in these elongated, stretched moments that we truly feel alive. It's where we find the beauty, the magic, and the divine perfection of it all. By learning to slow time, we don't just live a longer life, we live a much deeper, richer one. And so, we've come full circle. From the frantic, fearful life of the timid mouse, we arrive at the powerful, present, and genuinely free life of the lion. A life where we meet each moment with full presence, where our days are guided by our own meaningful agenda, where our inner demons have been decisively defeated. A life where we advance with abandon, constantly fueled by joy and gratitude, firmly anchored by integrity. A life where we amplify love, inspire greatness in others, and savor every precious moment by slowing time. This is the powerful promise of the Motivation Manifesto. It is the bold declaration of our own personal power. As we wrap up our journey through the Motivation Manifesto, I want to take a moment to reflect on why this book feels so incredibly relevant, perhaps more now than ever before. We're living in an age of completely unprecedented distraction. Our phones, our social media feeds, our relentless 24-hour news cycles, they are all masterful thieves of our attention. And our attention is honestly the currency of our lives. Where we place it ultimately determines the quality of our entire experience. Burchard's passionate call to reclaim our agenda and to meet life with full presence isn't just good advice floating around. It's a genuine strategy for survival in the modern world. It's an act of rebellion against a culture that desperately wants to keep us endlessly scrolling, clicking, and consuming until we've completely forgotten what it feels like to have a thought that is truly our own. What strikes me most powerfully about this book is its distinctive tone. It's not written by some detached academic observing from afar. It's written with a fire, a passion, an urgency that is genuinely contagious. You can feel Burchard's own second chance at life burning intensely on every single page. He's not just casually sharing interesting ideas. He's practically pleading with us to wake up, to realize that our time is genuinely finite and that every day we spend living in fear, distraction, or conformity is a day we can never, ever get back. The most powerful and practical lesson for me personally is the idea of defeating our demons through faith, action, and love. It's a beautifully simple, yet genuinely profound framework. We all know that voice of doubt intimately. We all know the strong pull of delay, and we all know the subtle poison of division. By giving these enemies a clear name and a face, and by arming us with specific antidotes, the book moves us from being a helpless victim of our own psychology to being a warrior in command of our inner world. So, how can you start living this manifesto today, right now, this very moment? It doesn't require a massive life overhaul or dramatic changes. It starts with a single, conscious choice. Here's a simple action you can take tonight. Before you go to bed, take out a piece of paper. Don't use a screen for this. Use an actual pen and real paper. And on that paper, answer this one question. What is one thing I truly want to move toward in my life right now? It could be a creative project you've been putting off, a health goal you've been ignoring, or a way you genuinely want to show up for your family. Then, underneath it, answer a second question. What is one small, concrete action I can take tomorrow to move toward it? Not a giant leap that scares you. Just one small, doable step. This simple act connects you to 3 of the declarations we discussed. You are reclaiming your agenda by clearly defining what you want. You are choosing action to defeat delay. And you are advancing, even if just a little bit, with abandon. This is exactly how the revolution begins. Not with a roar, but with a quiet, determined choice made in the stillness of the evening. We've covered a lot of ground today, but believe me when I say we've only scratched the surface. A summary can give you the map, but it honestly can't take you on the actual journey. The real power of this book lies in letting its words wash over you, in finding that one sentence or that one declaration that speaks directly to your soul. If anything we've discussed today has sparked something in you, if it has made you feel even a whisper of the lion within, I wholeheartedly encourage you to pick up a copy of the Motivation Manifesto. Reading it isn't just about learning information, it's an experience. It's like having a wise, passionate mentor take you by the shoulders, and remind you of the incredible power that has been inside you all along. You can find a link to the book in the description below. And finally, if you've found real value in our time together today, it would honestly mean the world to me if you'd hit that subscribe button. We explore a life-changing book like this one every single week, and by subscribing, you're not just joining a channel, you're joining a community of people genuinely committed to living their best lives. Let's continue to learn and grow together.